Hey, this is Dr. B back again. Continuing with Module 1, we talked about the types of variables you might see and the type of data you might want to collect if you're doing survey or research data and doing statistics. Well, one of the most important things I tell my students is math is a language, and you want to communicate. You want to communicate with other people your findings. So, you've heard of pictures worth 1,000 words. Well, maybe a graph or a diagram might be worth 1,000 words also. And depending on the type of data you're trying to show off, the type of graph you may use or diagram will use will be very important. For instance, let's have some fun. If I'm talking qualitative variables and I'm studying, the holiday season and chocolate, we're like, well, how many M&Ms are green? How many M&Ms are brown and red? Well, you could come up with a pie chart, which can kind of give you an idea of qualitative, green, red, and brown, the percentage. And the bigger the pie slice, the larger the percentage of that color in the M&Ms. But it really is important about what you choose to use to communicate your information. Quantitative data, I typically like to think of an X and Y coordinate system, and I like to plot points to show trends in time. Like if I wanted to say, okay, how many hours you study and your score, you can put 1 hour, 2 hour on the x-axis here, and how many points you might earn on the test might be on the y-axis, but it might be a line graph for quantitative relationships. In this class, you're going to see a lot of different things in your modules and your readings. You'll see box plots. You're going to see frequency, polygons, and histograms. And what I really want you to study on that is what am I trying to communicate, and is it doing it well? You don't need to make graphs fancy and three-dimensional. You just want them to be effective. So again, when you're doing the homework and you're looking at different types of data you're trying to describe, if you're trying to show the impact of a certain program on people's lives and you want to study it over time, sometimes you might want to have histograms right next to each other. But there's different ways to communicate, and I just want you to think about that as you're creating graphs. You don't want to distort them by having different scales on different sides, but just be aware of that, and we'll touch more about it in future module videos. Thank you.